He been hooping. That's think that's somebody who we want to see get a little more shine. I think a lot of people rooting for him. He has a Jersey connection via his father, Omar Kuba. So we are, but I mean, besides that, we still he can play. And I think he's one of them people who everybody around him know he can play. Like he like the NBA players, they know. But maybe he won't ever get that real shot. Hopefully he does, man. Like, cause I think it seems like wherever he goes, he don't change his game. He go get buckets. And it is that's just who he is. So, hopefully he really get that break and stick around in the league. I don't think he should ever go back to the G League
Well,
because he just go down there. He just go down
well,
there and
the,
kill.
the issue's always going to be, small guard, stigma,
Yeah,
and it's hard to get over that. If you're a small guard, you got to be, they expect you to be a pest on defense, don't turn the ball over, and shoot the piss out the ball. So if if you trying to be like a lead scorer or something like that, there's only like a
yeah,
half a handful of short guards that can get away with that. Your Brunsons, your Trey Youngs, and I mean, if you consider Kyrie a small guard, him, and then, after that, just like who, so, uh,
yeah.
I hope it's
But
not the
you
death for small guards.
yeah.
Like, looked like Jalen Duren got hurt tonight.
Mm,
He hurt his knee.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
He
so
just
you
got
gotta
the all.
find
He
out.
Yeah,
just
he
got the
just
All
got an
Star nod,
all-star
right?
bid.
Yeah, so we gotta find out of how serious it is after they
Mhm.
run some tests on him.
But
But
so
he
with Sharif though, like coming off the bench, at least you have somebody who can score because you don't want that backup point guard to be a liability offensively either,
Oh, absolutely.
right? So and you want somebody who that's his confidence. I see a lot of guards who we know can play, but then they get put in these NBA roles and it seems like their whole game change. It don't seem like he's changing no matter what. And I got to see that live when he came to the pro-am. He different.
Mhm.
Like some, like, oh, he look fast on TV. Oh no, he lightning fast. Like, yeah, no, he definitely the truth.
do you think the small guards can make a comeback, or they gonna be phased out soon?
I think, yeah, man, honestly, because of how I think how people looking at it, you have a lot of these bigger guards who can do what fast guards, who little guards are doing. Like they just as fast. And because they're bigger, probably you looking at what they can do defensively too. And then also if you are what you putting on the floor. If I can put on the floor 6'5", 6'7", 6'10", like that just look good. It's intimidating defensively, especially if they're not a liability in terms of speed or skill set or anything like that. But as you said, I think as the little guard, you have to be a leader, the leader, a scorer, not a liability on defense because I think the Chris Paul type point guard, that prototype, or the Rondo is done. The smaller Rondos where you don't get buckets, I think those are done. All right. But yeah,
At
it's
least
gonna
at
be
least
tough,
as a
man.
starter.
At least
Yeah,
as a starter. Yeah. Yeah.
well, you know, we back again. You know what I mean? Let's pay some
Back
bills.
again.
Yeah, let's pay some bills. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Welcome to Off the Parkway podcast. I'm your host, James. We got Jamal. We got Big Sue. We doing it again. If you like this type of content, hit that like button. Share to some friends and family. Shoot, to some damn strangers too. And subscribe as much as you can. And if you're on the socials, IG, we're on Facebook, we're on Threads, we're on TikTok. We are now
Black
on.
Planet.
Yeah.
Mi gente.
Yeah, I'm old for minute. But anyway, but I'm definitely old for minute. Look, we're not gonna talk about the '90s right now, but you know what I mean. Let's get to it.
What's the
You know what I
I'm
mean.
con you stop. What's the other platforms we on?
TikTok, we're on Threads, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we are. If you want to listen to the podcast, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we are now on Amazon Music. and now on iHeartRadio. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So we're
so
stepping our game up.
time to renew that contract. Tell them to negotiate, baby. We on a lot of platforms, man.
We're stepping the game up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Soon we're gonna be sponsored by the Spiteful's Car Wash. You know what I mean? Don't look at
You gotta work out the kinks.
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just the Spiteful. You know what I mean? He wants to sponsor us. You know what I mean? So the Spiteful's Car Wash. You know what I mean? You know, they're taking good care of it. And let's not
I'd
forget,
rather go to Donnie's, but go ahead.
no, you're not going to Donnie's, buddy. There's no such thing. But anyway, how y'all fellas doing?
Oh man,
All is
yeah,
well,
man.
man.
Yeah, man. Everything is good, man. Can't complain. Uh, ain't much going on new. Just work. Still trying to thaw out in this deep freeze we've been in. It looked like it's about to get cold again. Like we had a couple days where it wasn't as bad, but now we're about to go back in that freezer over the
Yes,
weekend.
indeed.
So I don't know, man. I'll just be happy when we get some decent above freezing temperatures. But other than that, man, I'm alive, healthy. Hopefully everything is good.
Well, how
Yeah,
you doing?
I'm good, man. As you know, we got the countdown. If you're wondering what that ruffling was, is my
What's that?
huh?
What's that?
High quality, high
Pot
fashion.
pot patois?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to call us, sexy wine, dirty wines, or whatever else you want to call us. But we'll
What's
be
going
doing
on? The
all that
season's still
this
going?
weekend, huh?
The season's still going?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Oh shit. I don't know. I stopped watching.
It's- yeah, so
Nah, yeah, yeah, nah.
it's
Super
just a
Bowl
countdown to
weekend,
the
man.
weekend, man.
Super Bowl
Countdown to the
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah, Super Bowl weekend, and also this is February, Black History Month. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So, there's a lot of different things going on for Black History. I see a lot of people posting Black pioneers and trying to support Black businesses and doing. I went to a Black History Month program at City Hall, and this lady talked for like 20 minutes straight, man. I was in there fighting for my life trying to stay awake, but it was a decent show. You know what I mean? They did a lot of singing and stuff like that and just presenting and giving out accolades for people who do community work and stuff like that in Jersey City. So,
okay.
it was
I mean, I mean, shoot, man. We some black men here, man, and it is Black History Month, man, and it's been a lot of talking, whether especially with this current administration, how they talk about they want to phase a lot of Black history and stuff like that out, out of the museums, out of the textbooks in schools and things like that. So maybe it isn't, kind of important that we spend a little second on it, man. So like, what does Black History Month mean to us, man? Maybe we talk about what it means to each and every one of us, man.
Mm.
okay.
Um. Well, I know for me, of course, you grow up, right? You go to school and you learn about I guess the polarizing figures, right? So the Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, George Washington Carvers, and people like that. I felt a little privileged because on right around the corner on 10th Street we had a legend I think that will be um talked about at least in Jersey Black history and Amiri Baraka, um, famous writer, poet. I actually learned how to play basketball in his backyard, so I do want to give a shout out to him. Rest in peace. Their family is like family to me. So in terms of like Black history, for me, I got to know about a lot of other figures from being back there, playing ball with their family and things like that. Um, and it also just is a reminder, this month is a reminder that um, so many people have done a lot just so we can have things like this. A lot of sacrifices have been made so we can have freedoms and have the ability to make the choices that we make. So, I mean, respect to all those forefathers that came before us and paved the way for us to have the freedoms we have today.
Yeah, I think Black History Month is important. And the thing is that let's think about it. Slavery wasn't too far ago. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
It's not that far ago. So the thing is that as we move forward in time, people, like I know we was growing up, they spent more time on giving out information on Black History Month and stuff like that. It was a curriculum for it. But as it phases out, the curriculum starting to phase out, these kids right now, they are not knowledgeable on who our Black history or anything about our Black history.
Yeah.
So right now, I think it's important that we do emphasize on Black pioneers, Black businesses and stuff like that, because I think our kids are just losing track of it, as we get further away from how slavery was, you know what I mean? Because when we were growing up, I think slavery was what, about 20 years ago? I'm an 80s baby, so it was about 20 years ago. Well, no, not slavery. The biggest racial issues and stuff like that with Martin Luther King and stuff like that was in
Okay,
the
okay.
60s.
I'm about to
60s,
Yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm just saying slavery. I don't even know why I'm saying
Man, hold
slavery.
up, man.
I'm like, what the hell?
My mom wasn't no damn slave.
Well, I'm in racist. So,
I'm about to say,
Yeah, yeah, shit, we was only 20 years out of slave. Like, hold on, man. We wasn't in Jim Crow.
hey, so I was about to say, damn, Jersey City had it bad. We was free in North. We was free in North.
Oh, shit.
but yeah, definitely, there's still a lot of big issues going on with racism and stuff like that. Our kids right now, with all this extra unity and all this stuff, and people trying to forget about it, they losing sight of that stuff. They won't know until they actually see it firsthand and try to understand it. You know what I mean? I know. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Did my son find anything? Not really. I don't think he found anything yet that he can question just yet. But I expect it to come soon.
Yeah, man, like Black History Month, it actually, I mean, it should mean a lot for everybody, of color or, people in general, man. You know what I mean? Like, Black people in this country, you know, are a big part of the history of this country, whether good or bad. But you can't erase what we mean to this country, the contributions that's been made, and you know, the impact that's been made, whether it's inventions, pop culture, what was seen as cool with the follow, whatever, and it's important to understand the history and things like that. When I was young, Black history was a big thing in my family. My mother and father, like they emphasized it a lot. Growing up, and you know every Black History Month when February started, my father he would have like all these posters that he would post up, throughout in the throughout the house of like all like prominent Black figures throughout history, and on the poster had what they did and how they contributed in there. So it could be, you'll learn about George Washington Carver, Harriet Tubman, obviously Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, but then, you would see is a post about Shaka Zulu. I remember, looking at
Mm,
that and reading about that. Like, the hell is Shaka Zulu? But then you're reading about him, and you're learning about it,
major,
Mansa
major.
Musa, and this was done every year, growing up, all the way, from as early as I can remember to, all the way, to damn near me being a teenager, it was done before, pretty much until my father passed, he was doing that. And, so I always knew the importance of it. And, yeah, man, it means a lot, man. And, I think that when you hear that they wanna like kind of erase the memory of certain things. Like, all right, let's not talk about slavery in the schools and things like that, or let's go to the museums and anything that talks about what happened in the past. Let's erase it. Like it's you can't erase that stuff, man. Just the thought, just to take it away so we can concentrate on something else. Like, no, we should know our history. We should know how things played out. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to mean that we're looking at people nowadays at the same way they should have looked at them then. But it's stuff to know, man, because we're not that far removed. Although it's not 20 years like Smooth was talking about, man, it's still in the timeline of history. It's not that long ago. You know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean? Nation is stretched thousands of years, and we're only what 100 years away from slavery. You know what I mean? We can, as African Americans, we can trace our lineage back to ancestors that were slaves. So like it's not that far, it's not that long ago, as far as on the course of lifetime. And then all right, that's slavery. But then what about everything after slavery? You know what I mean? Whether we talk about Jim Crow segregation and all and just voting rights and everything that we deal with all the way up until now. It's a lot. So with all that being said, this is about as preachy as I'll ever get. But Black history is important, man. And we as black men, we gotta we gotta make sure that we teaching our kids, man. We all got sons, and shit, sons, daughters, don't matter. Like they should know the importance because I definitely speak for myself because, I don't live in the type of environment that my kids don't live in the environment that I grew up in, so it'll be easy for them not to get that kind of education in the school system. So I gotta make sure that I tell them about it in the home and stuff like that. And, I would suggest we all do that type of stuff. But, yeah, man.
yeah,
Black
definitely.
History Month, February,
And
for this month, celebrate it, embrace it, and teach it.
you definitely want to keep it going with the kids because they definitely will lose sight. Because I remember we was watching something on YouTube. I think it was something with Cedric the Entertainer, and Jay thought that was Martin Luther King.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
So I was like, nah, that ain't no.
Martin Luther the King. That's
So that's what I said. You know what I mean? I make sure that I do play the YouTube videos and stuff like that so they can see the pictures and stuff like that. And then I'm actually talking about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and stuff like that. So they can have an understanding of what some of the things were like back then. But it's gonna take time. And just want you to know, I never seen a hat before, so
yeah, but more that is pretty different, but I
regular
think it's a
nah,
Kelly.
we
regular
talking
I
Kelly
about
think it's a
Thompson.
that
regular hat,
angels,
Maul. I don't know why he wouldn't bring attention to it. I think it's a
I have
regular
no
hat, you
idea.
know.
that angels hat you got on there. So I never seen that. Just
Ah,
want
it's
you to
it's
know
not
that.
it's A for assholes. That's what they call me.
Yeah, that's what I was
No,
thinking.
no, 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 I won't say that, but you know me. No report, but it's okay. Prince Jackson, anything you want to say?
No, on this, one thing I
That
want to
was
say,
perverted, by the way, but go
and
on.
and
That
I
right next
am,
to me, Prince Jackson.
yeah,
That was
his
a
name is this is regular Jamal, um,
Oh, that's it.
but I have some regrets, like, as we learn about our past and everything that our people went through. My grandmother, who I live with, like, growing up, right? So this is someone who's in the next room, is a direct descendant from slavery. Like, she's passed away now, but she was a direct, descendant, whereas she lived on the plantation. Her mother was a slave. She was actually made to, to marry the slave's master's son, like forced to do it at like 13. My cousin actually have the marriage certificate and the divorce certificate, and she ran from Virginia to here. So I wish that um I knew all of this information to be able to ask her what it was like. Like, I could have found out exactly what slavery was like from the person in the next room. Oh.
Hey, I
Well,
see.
No, I just and it's terrible. It's terrible, but I just just had a vision of just like somebody just like going. I'm like, nigga, what you? What? I tell you what the fuck it was like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But it's bad,
and she
man.
would've. Yeah. But that and she
Like,
I said
you want to know what's like, motherfucker? I tell you what it's like. Sit your ass down. Let me tell you what this shit was like.
one thing she did tell me is that, like, back how Newark was segregated, she said you couldn't go past
Yeah.
Bergen.
Hmm.
So you couldn't you wouldn't you wa she wasn't able to go past Bergen. We're from 11th Street, she couldn't go past Bergen. Alright, so yeah, so that's a little bit of a regret that I may have. I coulda learned a lot more.
Living in the house, in the
Yeah,
house.
and yeah, in the house.
But that might started the Prince lineage.
Oh, okay. First of all, yeah, I coulda got a little more information, like, how did you manage to get a divorce? They wasn't granting divorces back then.
No, they sure was.
Did you kill the slave master?
And when
And
you
ran
heard I
your ass
ran,
up
when
here?
you heard I ran from Virginia, that's exactly what I did. I ran.
Listen, how she get up here? She ain't get no car?
I said straight feet work.
Yeah. And when I think about it too, right? Like how she was made to, it said made to marry. My grandmother was a lighter skinned woman too. Like we wasn't gonna marry somebody our complexion. Wasn't gonna marry no slave master son. Like so yeah. So that yeah, all that stuff is interesting, man.
Who's the pappy? I'm the
Who's
pappy.
it? Word, word.
I'm the pappy that boy there, that boy.
Oh man. Oh, I didn't think Black History Month was gonna turn into this.
I mean, hey man,
But like
nigga said, nigga,
I
what?
listen, man, our history jacked the fuck up, man. Like, it's some powerful stuff in there, some things to be proud of, but man, it's some shit, man. And we laughing about it, and sometimes you gotta laugh about stuff just to keep from just like really thinking about how shit was fucked up. But we shouldn't forget it, man. We gotta know about
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely gotta know about it. You know what? I'm not gonna. I was about to ask some questions, but I'm not gonna ask no more questions about no damn Black History Month. We're gonna move on, man, because we're gonna end up wilding, man.
You want to ask it, sir? I know you want to ask. You want to go ahead. You want to...
We in there now.
Hey, why don't you go ahead?
Nah. Oh man, I was about to ask about slavery, but nah, I'm not gonna ask, man.
I mean, I wouldn't know.
Oh man, no, I ain't gonna ask. You know, we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going.
Long as you don't ask whether it was a choice or not, we good.
Oh, no, definitely ain't asking that. I was gonna ask
Like what?
where you preferred to be in the plantation or in the house.
Oh, listen, fuck that. Put me in that house, man. Listen, they was getting their ass whooped outside, man.
Nah, I
No.
mean, like when they talk when they talk about like like obviously this being outside is synonymous with picking cotton and shit like that. But because how many done whether it's slavery movies or slavery documentations and things that we've seen over the years, whatever. But when they talk about, I like the documentaries because they really get into the history of some of that stuff. But like before they, invented the cotton gin and all that stuff, like to pick cotton, them shits got the cotton on it, they got thorns on those shits. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, like they had to like kind of work around the thorns and all that. Their hands was fucked up from that. So like you had to do real labor outside. I mean, if you inside, if you probably just, cleaning up shit and doing housework, but you inside. But man, listen, at the end of the day, it wasn't gonna be no good shit to it.
Yeah.
Nah, not at all. You can be out there and it's hot, but one thing, you all working together, men and ladies out there. I can tell you one thing, they was getting it in out there too.
I tell you what though, man, I
They
see. I
still
can't,
form family.
like when you say like, all right, I couldn't I couldn't have gotten a wife, man.
It's gonna
Now the
take
slave master gonna want to get a taste of my wife. I'm like, hell, bro, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm doing your work. I'm your slave, bro. Like, whatever. Like, all right, you want me to do double? You want me to do a double shift? All right, cool, man. Leave her alone, bro. Like, you can like try to get a taste of my wife, nigga, man. Like, damn, man. Get your drunk ass out of here, man.
Yeah, you couldn't have a light skin one over there, man. You gotta have a dark skin
she was
on
getting
over.
it. She was
Yeah, if
getting
you
it.
had a light skin one, it was a wrap.
She was getting it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right,
We've
man. Let's move on from this, man. Oh
See, I
man.
told you I didn't want to go here, man. But yeah, let's go back to the NBA, man. It was a lot of trades these past
Trade
2 days.
deadline just ended.
Trade deadline, you know what I mean? So let's just touch on the notable ones. First off, Giannis did not get traded. Any thoughts on that before we move on to the next one?
I mean, that was gonna be hard for them to move Giannis to begin with, because obviously they want to be able to get something back for a generational talent that's still in his prime, and you want to be able to get a haul back for him. Um, But there is some control that Giannis got because obviously you can't just trade him anywhere. He wants some say because he only got 1 year left on his contract. So I think that was something that they wasn't going to be able to get done before the trade deadline. There's still some stuff going on. So I think that might bode well for the Knicks if that's still going to be in play because now it's like they get to kinda see what's gonna happen with this roster right here, and if that shit fall on his face in, like, the second round of the playoffs or something like that, they gonna give up that whole team to get Giannis and just keep Brunson and maybe OG and then give up and anybody else is good to go, so we'll see.
I know for one thing, this dude needs to decide what he wants to do. Giannis, there's always these reports saying that he's ready to go. He has never officially requested a trade yet.
I don't
Well,
think
he
he
never
wanna go.
will. Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's the
he's never
problem
gonna do
with it.
that.
Yeah, and that's the problem right now. He posted after the trade deadline, he posted a picture of Wolf of Wall Street where he's talking about he's going to get people to come join him now. So that's the
Motherfucker
thing. Like,
Milwaukee.
yeah, if he wants to leave, he's gonna have to come out and say it. He's gonna have more of the leverage next season to get out of there. But he gotta say it, man. Ain't nobody trying to take a risk on him for a rental. You know what I mean? He gotta say that I want to go. And once he does that, the floodgates is gonna open like crazy. Because since he didn't say it, uh Golden State moved on, Atlanta moved on, Minnesota moved on, and Miami didn't even try. And the Knicks moved on. So he got to open his mouth and say, "I want to get traded."
I think he want to.
I don't
Like,
think so neither,
I
but
don't
I
think
think you
because
prefer him to say.
I think he will say it. Like if he wants to be out of it, because he has full power over there. Like he can say that and then force it. And I think he'll have a say in where he want to go too. When I started hearing like Draymond talking about he think this could be like his last game, like he thought he was up out of there. That I think that was gonna probably be for him, for Giannis. Like if that was
Yeah,
because
he
they was
was
gonna
going
have
to be in the package.
yeah, they're gonna have to definitely give up all. They're gonna have to give up a lot for him. Um, but yeah, I think maybe he's like let's see what type of moves y'all making. Because I know Giannis want to win too. Like Giannis played to win. He ain't, like he got a big contract. It seemed like he got his brother's contract, so he good on that. And I think he want to win. And I also think he want to win there. again. If he could, like he wanted, I think he wanted to stay in one place, and continue to win. So if he wanted to be out, I think he would say it.
I disagree with y'all, man. I think he does want to be out. I think that he doesn't want to be the bad guy. I think everything about Giannis has been about preaching loyalty, sticking with the same team, all that stuff. But I think he sees that. I think the will to win is more pulling him and more important right now than the loyalty of staying with a team that's not going nowhere. Now, if he could have it his way and that was a winning team and they had winning pieces, yes, he would rather stay there. But I think he knows that they can't go nowhere there. But he doesn't want to be the one to be the distraction to say, I want to leave and all that stuff. He not gonna do that because it's gonna look like a contradiction. So I think behind the scenes, he's saying what because I think they can't just trade him anywhere because he has to agree on it. And the teams that was looking for, to trade, only one he really wanted to go to was New York. That was the reports at least, but he don't want to go to Miami. There'd be the same situation in Miami as it is in Milwaukee. There's no pieces over there. He don't
Better,
want to
better,
go,
better women.
I mean, you can go to Golden State and to pay yourself with a 37-year-old Steph, just your window will be right now. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to go over there. I from what I could tell, he about legacy. And he ain't about giving nobody who already got 4 rings another one. He want to get more himself. You know what I mean? And go to a place that's in position to win, but he can be that guy and get him another chip and stuff like that. So, you know, I think we're gonna see in the off season, what it is, but he ain't staying there he know ain't nobody going to fucking Milwaukee. They don't have the pieces to move to get people over there. They don't even have fucking draft picks. You know what I mean? So like he not staying. And they're gonna want to rebuild. They trying to get him to a place that got picks and shit like that. So it's gonna be a multi-team deal to fix that shit.
Next trade. Jonathan Kuminga goes to the Hawks and Christoph Porzingis is in Golden State. What are we thinking here? Big move
Well,
for Kuminga?
what I'm thinking, first I'm thinking as a Knick fan, damn, we dodged a big ass bullet with fucking Kristaps Porzingis, man. And I was one that was on that Kristaps Porzingis train, pause, when we got him, and I saw the ceiling. I thought he was gonna be the next big thing, man. And then when we traded him, I was disappointed about that, and how it happened. But like since he has left the Knicks, man, he's just been banged up with Dallas, pause, when he banged up uh with Boston and he got to Atlanta and hasn't played much there and now he got traded again and it's just been disappointing. He's been an unhealthy dude, man. He had that one healthy, stretch when he was with Boston that helped him win, but that's tough. So with all that being said, him being traded for Kaminga, I don't know what Golden State gonna get out of Porzingis. You know what I mean?
He's
Like,
hurt now.
you pairing him with those guys. He's a stretch five, and if he's healthy, hey, you got a great piece. But he's never healthy. You know what I mean? So, but that's that part. As far as the Kuminga side of it all, I kind of was, they already got Johnson. They got Johnson over there, who's a wing. But I mean, you can kind of play him at the five. I mean, the four a little bit. You play Kaminga at the three. They super athletic.
Yeah.
That's one thing about that team. They that's a bouncy ass team right there. So hopefully it works out for Kaminga. You know what I mean? He go uh, St. Pat's Patrick School, how you want to call it, man. What's the best for him?
Yeah. What's the best?
And I hope he do well. So I think Atlanta they got somebody who's gonna be motivated with a chip on their shoulder.
Hmm. Um, I think yeah, he can. Kaminga can have a chip on his shoulder and go there. It's a fresh start, right? Clearly he needed. He can go there and try to really, really showcase what he can do. without being restricted. He don't really gotta he don't have a Steph over there to kinda, or anybody like that. Right? I think he can just kinda go make a name for himself and to get that big bag. He want the bag. Like, Kuminga want that bag. So, I'm actually waiting on some information right now too from some people. I got my sources over here, about that trade, but I do think for Golden State is a win too, not a win because they got Porzingis, a win because I think that from the looks of it, sounds of it, Kuminga might have been a cancer in the locker room. So bringing that dark cloud, he was clearly unhappy. So he showed like little flashes here and there, but then he might have a knick-knack injury. Now he's out. It was like he ain't trying to play, like whatever. Back and forth for like the organization. So I think them parting ways was like a breath of fresh air for both. Yeah, Porzingis, let's say even if he go there and he is healthy, right? I don't think the other pieces around them is enough. We know when they was winning the chips, they always had like the other parts. Butler's now hurt. You don't have a Iguodala, a Sean Livingston. You don't have them players over there no more. So I think honestly that you'll see Steph go for crazy numbers and still get hot, but I think that window for them to win chips is probably over unless you're gonna go get a blockbuster three. They need a three who could just say go get your own baskets. And you don't have the spacing anymore. Even though Clay was off to his last year when they won it, when he won over there, he still was a threat. You don't even have that threat no more. You just got Steph.
Man, Golden State is done.
They just
Yeah,
traded
that's
Buddy
that,
Hill. They traded Buddy Hill too.
traded
Yeah, they
Buddy
traded
Hill.
Buddy
So
Hill, so they done. They done. You know what I mean? The only thing I could say for about this trade was I'm happy for
in the
Kuminga to
West,
get.
in that West,
Oh yeah, they done. That's what I said. They finished. They finished. You know what I mean? They might as well just let these dudes go and find new teams and call it a day. You know, man, I'm just happy Kuminga is
Steph
able
ain't
to.
going nowhere. Steph is
No,
staying.
he's not.
yeah,
But
Steph's there.
I'm just happy Kuminga is getting a chance to get some run and try to develop and make mistakes with other players that's going to run up and down the court with him. And we'll see what the future holds for him. You know what I mean? He talks a good one. You know what I mean? He shows flashes. So we'll see.
But real quick. I mean, I know we talking about the trades, whatever. But Maul, you said you think they was looking at him like a cancer, but was he wrong? Like, yo, I'm the third. I was what the third overall pick. Like, I played my role for the first couple years. You know what I mean? Like, so you bring in Jimmy Butler, now I got to play behind him, and like, you know what I mean? Like, what was the plan for me? The coach is pretty much saying he don't know if he can play me in playoff situations and stuff like that. I get DNP for like 20, like 17 games. I'm gonna be a fucking cancer too. I don't know. That was a fucked up situation. It's some stuff that may come out, when since he's gonna be on another team that he can talk about or whatever. I like damn. Like, I'm supposed to be a big part
Yeah,
of the makeup of this team. I was a top lottery pick. You know what I mean? That look what they did. Well, I can't even say that. Look what they did with Wiseman because Wiseman got hurt and shit like that. So that was different. But like I don't know about that. I
They
don't know about that
Golden
front
State
line, man.
they,
That I mean
they,
that
they
front
can't
office, man.
they can't develop young players. They just can't.
But then you look at Poole, where
Poole
that was
worked. But Poole, I think Poole was going to be who he was because he already came in with a lot already. So they didn't have to do too much because he was almost like a Steph. You know what I mean? He fits right in with him.
but Poole
But they
doesn't
can't.
but Poole hasn't done that since he left there. He looks like a completely different player somewhere else. But when he was with them, he looked at like somebody who's next up. So
No, that's Draymond
that's the
punching him in the
only
face.
example we got. Everybody else that they got, is
That's
whatever.
Draymond punching him in his face, and
take a right
he's
hand to
just
the face.
mentally.
Things are
Yeah,
changed.
he's mentally broken. That's all. Poole ain't been right since that punch, and it's been following him ever since. He just did he went to a school, and the kid asked him
Can't say
about
Saying
him
that
that.
getting punched in the face. You know what I mean? So he hasn't been straight ever
You
since.
can't. These fucking kids, man.
Yeah. He's
Listen,
mentally broken, yo.
straight face too. That kid
But
father told him to do that shit.
You ain't that. You ain't that. You ain't that.
the next trade, and we'll probably do maybe maybe one more after this one. James Harden is now in Cleveland. Darius Garland is in LA now. The James Harden wanted to re-up on his contract to get another 2 years, 2-year, $80 million. They told him no. So he wanted to get traded. So now he's in Cleveland, one of the non-defensive playing back courts that you're gonna see with him and Spider. But they expect big things out of this team for some reason. They expect him to be a
So
big problem in the East.
I think that's a horrible trade. With them, like, yeah, James Harden, as great as he is, gets to be a Hall of Famer at some point. Gonna get a whole bunch of more buckets. Kobe been said you can't win with that style of basketball. That one-on-one dribble, whatever. Then he went and fooled everybody and led the
Kobe
league. And
has
it's,
some damn nerve saying that, but God.
Kobe won. Okay,
Kobe
Kobe
has
played.
some
No,
damn nerve
no, no,
saying
no.
that shit,
But you know what
boy.
though? You know what though? But even though Kobe
Goodness
has some nerve,
gracious.
Kobe played in the triangle. He was the triangle, but
Yeah.
Kobe played in the triangle.
The
But
isosceles triangle.
yeah, but I mean, Harden has not shown up in the playoffs. When they shrink that court and they start really keying on. I don't know if it's conditioning. I don't know if it's I don't know. They scheme better in the playoffs, but they seem to neutralize a lot of that elite Harden skill set. So I don't think that. Now, granted, you could have traded for somebody else if you want to get rid of Harden, because you got somebody else who need the ball too. Like both of them are. I guess Harden is probably more of a point guard than Mitchell, but Mitchell has to have the ball. And at this point, like if you who's the go to, it's Mitchell. Like I don't know, it's yeah, like it's not even close. He need the ball, but then Harden will have an attitude probably, like because he can't. If Harden go down the court 3 or 4 times and don't get the ball, if Mitchell's hot, he's probably he's out of sync. Like he needs the ball in his hands to be able to do that. So I'm not even sure like how this is going to work. And defensively, I mean Mitchell plays hard and he'll attempt to play defense, but you can't go put him on the top perimeter score. Like if they play in the finals, you gonna put Mitchell on Shea, and that's gonna take away Mitchell, and then you got this dude who not playing defense anyway. So yeah, it's just I don't think that this is a good trade. I heard it's some extra curricular stuff, and we can't even talk about it on here. We'll discuss this at Red Lobster somewhere. In addition to some information about this trade, but yeah, I don't think it was good for Cleveland to do this because Cleveland, you had a very good year last year, and this is definitely a down year because you're supposed to be able to repeat what you did last year. And I don't know that Harden is the key to getting you back to where you was.
You said Red Lobster. I haven't been to Red Lobster in like
They still
3 years.
they still got seafood boil too. They added
And
that, the black dude.
we talk about Black History Month, man. You know, man, black man took over ownership
Yes, indeed.
you know,
Yes, indeed.
CEO
See?
of
That was
that.
the
So
alley-oop.
yeah, man.
That was the alley-oop.
Yeah. Um, I thought like you see, I guess I was looking at that as a win for Cleveland, you know, because they traded for Darius Garland. Darius Garland is somebody who's been in and out of the lineup for years, you know, and when they put that team together, you know, and they started to make, you know, little adjustments as they went along, especially I thought the DeAndre Hunter thing was a big pickup for them as a defensive 3-and-D wing. But when they, you know, kind of traded him, you know, previously to everything, and then you know, they decided to trade you know, Garland for, you know, for Harden. I thought it was an upgrade. You know what I mean? Darius Garland don't play defense neither. You know, he's a smaller guard and he's not available. You know, and you know, James Harden 10 years older, but as far as they window for a chip or window to win is now. You know what I mean? So it's not 10 years from now, it's not 5 years from now, it's now. You know what I'm saying? So I think that with Harden there and and obviously, Spider Mitchell, and you got Mobley. I think they got to figure out who's going to be the third option. You know what I mean? I think Harden to make it work, Harden's gonna have to play point guard. He's gonna have to be the facilitator. He's gonna have to, get Donovan up off that ball. And when Donovan can catch and shoot, Donovan can ISO whatever you want. Donovan can do. And when you put and then they went and got Keon Ellis, the defensive guard from Sacramento. They got him in the trade as
And
well,
Schroeder.
and Schroeder. And listen, when let's say Donovan goes off to the bench real quick to get a breather, and then you put
Schroeder
Ellis
the
in
one
there, and then Schroeder, and then
and
leave
Harden
Harden
off
in there, and
ball.
let Harden cook. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They can
yeah,
make it
yeah.
work. They can make it work. You know what I mean? So, I, who as a backcourt defensively, you got to deal with that shit. That like who that's a tough deal. But that defense, and when they both in there on defense towards the end of the game, it might be some hurt feelings if Harden got to sit on that bench because you're gonna be able to attack both of those backcourt players. So they're gonna have to look at that. But I think it's a win because Darius Garland is not available. He always hurt. He's been hurt off and on all year. So fuck it.
Yeah,
They chances now,
Yeah, I think
we seeing some players phase out, ain't we? We about like the 5 years, this landscape of this league will be different, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the only thing I can say about Cleveland with this is big winner with this is Evan Mobley. You know what I mean? Because one thing James Harden can do is make sure he gonna catch the rock and get them lobs and stuff like that. So that should boost his play. Him and Jared Allen. But other than that, I'm really nothing on that.
Mobley trying to
That
step out and shoot threes now.
that's the problem with them now. They kind of they kind of soft, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? But we'll talk about the last one here, and there's some other notable ones, but we can discuss AD going to the Wizards. Now you got a two man with AD, and now you got Trae Young in Washington. Do you think Washington improved or what?
I think on paper, on the face of it, that looks good. It looks good to have Anthony Davis and Trae Young both healthy and playing together. If they're both healthy, that is a nasty duo right there, Pauls. You know what I mean? I think they would complement each other very well.
Yeah.
But I think it's the theme of what we're saying with these players that's gotten traded is that it's all about availability and, Anthony Davis, man. Yeah, I think I don't know, man. I mean, that's a different conversation of like what makes people frail and others not. But damn, man, like he is somebody who just
We we
is just
seen him go
crazy,
out.
you
We
know what I
seen
mean?
him go out for 6 weeks on injuries where it seemed like nobody touched him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it be just some crazy. He start holding his hand, holding his side, holding his back. It's like,
Broken
damn, bro.
that
that
last hand
package.
injury, no one touched him on that last hand
Yeah,
injury.
man. I don't know, man. Some people just like he might got osteoporosis or some shit, man. Just young
Broken
glass,
tailbone.
man. But yeah, man, I think this it's gonna look good when they out there and they kept Sar, they kept their picks, so they still got they should be all right on paper, but if they're not healthy, then it's just gonna be same old Wizards. Dallas, they just starting their rebuild. They know they got a star in Cooper, and they're gonna go from there. They
Yeah,
tanking because they trying to get Darren Peterson. Pair Darren Peterson up with motherfucking Cooper Flag. Oh my
And
god.
Kyrie.
the Wizards is the worst, or Dallas is the worst. Let me see.
Probably the Wizards,
Well,
right?
it's
I
all
think the
it's all
Wizards.
about the lottery anyway. So as long as you get
Yeah.
within that top 4,
You got
you
a
give
chance.
yourself a shot.
Yeah, well, yeah, Wizards only won 14 games.
From that top four, the the last place team over the last 5 years have not gotten the first pick. So if you just get yourself within that top three, top four, you can get yourself
Yeah,
a shot.
the Pacers have 13 wins, and
Pacers on that bullshit. They taking their ass off,
yeah,
motherfuckers.
and the Kings got 12 wins. But you know what I mean? Yeah,
Of course they do.
Pacers just got Zubac.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Boston got old boy from Chicago, Vujicic. And let's not forget Jaren Jackson Jr. went to Utah. So I don't know what they doing.
Ain't much on that, man. They done sent Jaron Jackson to Siberia, man. So
Yeah, that's it.
ain't nothing to talk about with that.
So
Him and
you know,
Keontae George gonna be balling.
that's it. You know
He's
what I mean?
barely
So
out
that
there.
you know what I mean? It's
What's up with
and
market? What's up with Larry marketing? Like, he ain't been doing shit since he
he
made his
trying to get.
All-Star 2 years ago.
I think he want to get out of there.
You would too.
You know what I mean? He
That's
just
Why
want to get out.
That's Siberia, man.
might be in the damn Salt Lake.
And you know what I mean? For our hometown Knicks, we got was Jose Alvarado.
I think
Oh,
that's
that's
again. I think the biggest story is that nobody got Giannis, so that means he's still gonna be available in the summertime, and I think that's where he wants to go. So if it don't work out with this roster, meaning a championship or or at least a trip to the finals, which is not guaranteed, they're gonna blow some parts of this shit up, and they're gonna be able to go for him again. But in the meantime, Jose Alvarado for the Knicks is good because Deuce, he just got surgery,
Yeah,
Deuce McBride, and he might be out for the rest of the season. Maybe come back for the playoffs, but he'll be
yeah.
out for the rest of the season.
He said maybe
So that's a tough.
before
That's
the playoffs he'll be back.
yeah, that's a tough loss for us. So I mean,
Alvarado
Alvarado
could
kind
hit
of fills
shots.
that void,
He can hit shots.
huh? Yeah, yeah,
Alvarado
yeah,
could hit
yeah,
shots.
yeah, yeah. He'll fill that void defensively. He's an undersized guard, but we got a bunch of them, so he just joined the rest of them. But it's a good pickup.
Like I was mentioning to y'all before, Jared McCain. They get rid of him, and he's on OKC right now. So they believe in that. They believe in VJ. That's
You
their
Yeah,
guy.
should.
yeah. Because I remember when we was talking about it, we was talking about like either him or like George, and we was thinking
Yeah,
like George, but nobody ain't want no fucking Paul George.
and plus he's out. He's suspended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that just threw shit out the windows. But well,
Yeah, so you know what I mean. That's pretty good with the NBA. You know what I mean. Before we leave out, shout out to the Charlotte Hornets for winning. I think they won like 6 or 7 in a row. First time in like 20 years, I think it was.
they on 7. I don't
Yeah,
know if they
so
played tonight.
nah, I don't think they played tonight, but
They on
they did
7.
add.
Them and the Knicks.
Yeah, they did add.
Terry Rozier got his money.
Yeah, he did get his money, and
Yeah.
Charlotte did add Kobe White to their
Okay.
roster. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if what they're going to do. Hopefully, they can make the play in or not. But you know, I just happy to see LaMelo actually try to win some games instead of just playing around out there.
I don't like LaMelo.
Terry Rozier.
So before we end with sports, let's do our Super Bowl predictions. Super Bowl is Sunday. You know what I mean? Big game is here. New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks. Maul, I know what you're gonna say, but we're gonna start with you. Let us know your predictions for this
Oh,
Sunday.
oh no, Maul gotta go last.
He
Yeah,
already
you know they
rattled
got
it.
he already
He
got a team
rattled
that's
it.
representing. We got to hear his take last.
All
I
right.
mean, I think with me, I think that the Patriots they haven't played a lot of teams. They haven't played a lot of tough teams. Like who they beat to get here. They beat up on a booty ass CJ Stroud. Good defense, but they beat up on them Pauls. Denver, the second string quarterback in a damn Snow Bowl. The regular season record, they had like the easiest, like win percentage in history. Damn near a team go to the Super Bowl. So they didn't have a lot of competition and a lot of tests, I think. But that ain't on them. You play the games that's in front of you. You gotta win when you need to. So their quarterback has done enough. He hasn't played that well in the playoffs, by the way. Just so. And now he's playing against another good defense. Now I think the difference is that this defense is paired with a good offense. You know what I mean? So I know they've been these wild, young, crazy kids that don't know what they're doing, but you in the Super Bowl now. It's for all the chips, man, and young Yosemite Sam Darnold, man. He trying to rewrite his history books and make it seem like that he was always what he was supposed to be as a high draft pick in this league, and he can lead a team to the promised land, and that's what he's gonna be out there trying to prove. Uh, and yeah, man, that defense going get some stops when they need to, and Donald going to try to play mistake free. So with all that said, I got the Seahawks.
Mm. Mm.
I got them. I got them winning by about 10 points. I say 20. I say 25. No, I say 24-14.
Okay. Me, let's see. You know what? F the Patriots, number one, for beating us. You know what I mean? So let's start with that. You know what I mean?
A lot of emotions in these picks.
If we was fully healthy, we had Bo Nix, I think we would be right here at the Super Bowl. But you know what I mean? It is what it is. We take the L and we move on. I like Seattle because they do have the mixture of a good offense and the defense.
Yes.
That last
Before you go on, you was always shitting on Bo Nix. Now if you had him, y'all would have won. So you admit that he a jig quarterback.
No, I'm just saying that with that type of game, he would have been perfect for it.
Just want you to admit that he got a jig quarterback. That's all, sir. But go on.
All
Sorry about that.
Average.
Nah, he's average. But go on.
But after that last game, I watched them play because I never really watched Seattle play, and they looked really, really good that last game, man. And Sam Darnold was throwing that cheese all over the place, man, and they are a high-powered offense. But the weird thing is, my gut is saying New England. I'm getting that feeling of saying New England is going to win, but I think I'm gonna stick with Seattle myself. I think I'm gonna stick with Seattle. So I think I'm gonna take Seattle winning. I'm gonna give them 33-21.
So that would leave it up to me. I'm gonna go ahead and slowly just bring this up here again for everyone to see. You can probably go on to the Off the Parkway podcast DM. I'll let you know where to get this shirt from. We'll put champions on yours when you order it, right? We'll give you a little discount.
Okay.
Somebody mentioned Sam Darnold getting them to the promised land. One thing about that promised land, I think Moses started that. Let's go biblical and Quranic on these guys, man. Moses took them people to the promised land, but he didn't get there. He actually didn't make it. He just led them there. So that's cool if he want to get to the Super Bowl, but don't make it. That's cool. So one of you guys just said it. Drake May haven't really played great in these playoffs, so I think he's due. So I think he's due, right? Like, I think with this 2 weeks that he just had, he's there. You get to settle down, or he get to speak to whoever can give him them words of confidence and wisdom or how to approach this game, and I think he's going to settle himself down and deliver a MVP-like performance because he's due for one of those. He is the MVP candidate. Like, so he has to at some like we actually need him to. Like we need him because of how good this defense is. We actually need him to deliver. Now, I do think that he's going to run for over 45 yards. I think every chance he get, we may have to pick up a bunch of first downs with him on his feet. But I do think the dogs that's out there with um Cardi B guy,
Stephon Diggs.
Diggs, yeah, like dogs like that in the locker room. That's like, yo, listen, we here now. Like, let's play. I don't think that they gonna let him choke. They'll make some big plays as well. I am a little concerned about those boys hit hard. We can't front like they'll whack you, but we ain't no frauds on defense either. Though. Like I think we can get some timely stops on them as well. I think that we can beat them. If I gotta put a score on this, I am going 28-21. Yeah. 28-21. And we haven't been down at halftime either, so I'm looking forward to keep that going. And that winning streak that we had, we wasn't down at halftime at all. So we don't need to get off to a slow start in the Super Bowl. Um we're gonna have fun. I think we're gonna have fun with it. So, and that's the big thing. Like we have a coach that's on the sideline that's not putting a lot of pressure out there. We're coming here to have fun. We're coming here to win. I still think we playing with house money. Like we don't supposed, according to the beginning of the season rankings, we don't supposed to be here, but we are. But it ain't gonna be no like I've been talking to everybody. Oh, they gonna punch y'all. They gonna smack y'all. Like, oh, okay, all right. All right, looks like that on paper, but a lot of teams probably should have beat us or whatever. We're here now. We had 2 weeks to prepare.
Okay.
Patriots for number Patriots for the 7th. Because you figure we got to do this too. Because my guy Belichick is pulling all that stuff out of the Hall of Fame, so we got to start back over. We're only gonna have one trophy in there. Because Belichick pulling everything out since they weren't jerking with the Hall of Fame thing. So yeah, we got to start all over. We're
Pause on
Raven
that
now.
too, but I ain't going with the Belichick stuff. Leave him out of this.
I'm just saying.
Leave him out of this.
They did
Just
jerk
saying.
him.
Pause too, but they
Yeah.
you know, what I mean, it is what it is.
It's not
You know
is.
what I mean?
It's not is what it is,
It
man.
is what it is.
Who you
They
work for,
jerked.
man? Who you work for?
It is what it
They
is.
jerked him.
Sheesh.
You know, they got
Mm.
tired of him. They want to hear his junk. That's all.
That we ain't get a chance to talk about that one. That was some bullshit right there.
Yeah, it was. It was. He should have made first ballot. But you know what I mean?
You don't want it no more?
Nah, you can't change the accolades no matter what.
No.
You know what I mean? Was you going to skip him the first time and then get him the second time? Come on.
Yeah. You might as well never bring him in.
Yeah, come on. Don't play around like that. You know what I mean? But this the Hall of Fame has always been controversial for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, there's still people
Nothing like
complaining.
that ever happened.
They still complain about other players not getting in there and stuff like that.
I mean, the closest was Terrell Owens, but like nothing. This is slam dunk like that has ever happened. That's the equivalent. That him not going in there is the equivalent of fucking Jordan not going in there, like as a coach. But whatever.
Yeah, but let's move on. Let's see. We got we got our little question of the day. So you know what I mean. Let's knock this one out here.
And I'm
So
gonna go
basically,
last on this. I'm plugging this up.
all right, cool. We got the relationship question is basically when you break up with someone, do you still keep in touch with the ex's family? Do you still go around for family functions and stuff like that? Or do you keep in contact with them just, periodically? What is off limits when you break off with someone? What's off limits and what should be fine when you carry on with the family and stuff like that? Because usually when you break up with a person, you don't really keep in contact with the person anymore. How does that look going further with an ex?
I would imagine. I mean, I think it all depends, right? You know what I mean? Like, I think the easy thing to say would be like, all right, if you break up with the person, then you kind of cut your contact off with with the family, because you connected to them and like, like why are you keeping that attachment? Because that attachment is, like it could become a little funny. But it's some people who get into relationships and they damn near adopt that person's family. Maybe they don't have a strong sense of family on their side, and then they kind of adopt that. Whether it's with the mate's mom or whatever, brothers, sisters, like whatever situation is. But I would think if you cut ties with the person you with, you cut all ties. And even if you is close with the family, maybe you can still say, mean you don't say hi if you saw them in the supermarket or something like that, but like to reach out to them or invite them to a function or some like that. Nah, what I mean, I don't think you invite them over to the Super Bowl party. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think everything's off limit. You cut all ties.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree. 'Cause, if we done, like, we're done. I'm not about to still be calling your aunt or your mom and doing all that. Like, you gotta, because you're still attached if you're doing that. And you definitely are not either giving yourself that space that you may need to get that person out. Because how do you get that person out of your system and you still connected to their family? If you happen to even move on from them, to still be reaching out to that side of the family. Hey, yo, what y'all doing? Or y'all having a cookout? I'm coming through. You're still connected to them. Is only one reason why you would still be talking to him, and it's the person that you was with. I don't think that you become disrespectful. Like, if you see each other in public, or you see like the family in public, yeah, you're still gonna speak. I don't think you're gonna make that awkward or anything like that. But I'm, like you said, I'm not going to the cookouts. I'm not inviting you over to the Super Bowls and things like that. No, like either my new person is there, or I'm just disconnecting from you overall. So yeah, it's no there's no keeping in touch like that. Yeah, I'm not even really inquiring like that because I still think that's some emotional stuff within yourself you gotta detach from.
Well, I think it's depends on how you break up, number one. But
Mhm.
and also it also depends on how long y'all was together. In a certain amount of time, you build relationships with family members, and sometimes you don't. So, for example, you're cool with her brother or her cousin or whatever the case may be, and y'all built a friendship in the time that y'all was together. That friendship might not end because y'all broke up. You know what I mean? If y'all built that friendship and is building on something, then it might continue as time goes on. You know what I mean? Now with the parents and stuff like that, that's a little funny situation right there because there is some parents who really like the mate no matter what their child didn't like. And they still like to keep in contact with you and stuff like that. And then there's some that just, divorces you just along with your ex. So if you run into them and you see them, You're not gonna speak. You're gonna be cordial. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're gonna speak and whatever the case may be, and you might get invited out or whatever the case be. Now it's up to you if you feel comfortable enough to show up or not. But you know what I mean? It depends, like I said, it depends on the relationship you did build. If I didn't build a strong relationship, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not really, I got to see you to speak to you. I'm not calling you or anything like that, but there is times where things do happen where people still get invited to family functions. You know what I mean? It can get awkward or that ex could be pissed off that you're there. And it depends on how crazy your ex is. She might put on a scene and try to kick you out.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience, sir.
Well, no, I never been I never been invited to too many family functions or anything like that after an ex, but I did keep in contact with like, you know what I mean, different family members before, but it was nothing crazy. Or I used to run into them in stores and stuff like that and they speak. But nothing like that where, you know, there was constant communication like a friend type thing. You know, but I used to run into the parent all the time. It's a little awkward, you know what I mean, when they see you and they're like, "Yeah, you know what I mean, have you talked to my daughter?" Or I'm like, "No." You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
Nope.
Speak to her.
No, I didn't. She talking to the other nigga.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't speak to her. You know, I wish her luck. You know what I mean? And then sometimes, you know what I mean? And sometimes the parent be like, "Hey, maybe you should give her a call." You know, they try to set you back up. You know what I mean? If they really like you. So they're gonna be like, well, maybe you should call, or that's when that invite to something comes. You were like,
Mhm,
oh, well, won't you
mhm.
drop this off for me? And that's the same day she gonna be there and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? Parents know what they doing too at the end of the day, man. But is it off limits? I it's really up to you and your situation, man. I can easily say I'm gonna say no, but then you never know what's gonna happen when you start talking to that parent or that family member and see what happens. You might do like, you know, I'm gonna show my face and get out of there. You know, so I don't know. I don't know. I you know,
And I think that when you ask like what if it's off limits too, I think that depends on what you got going on too, right? Like if you have already moved on, you're probably not going to that. If you haven't, like say if you seen somebody out and you seen the parents out or the cousin or whatever, you'll come through whatever. Like you might go through if you don't have nothing going on, like you don't have nobody else. Because if you're in a relationship and you're being completely transparent, right, you may want to tell your current partner, like, hey, you know what, my my ex's cousins invited me to you're probably not gonna do like you don't want to do that. You're respecting the boundaries, respecting your current situation. But if you don't have that, let's say you single, you just broke up with that person, you may go. Like you can make that decision if you want to. So I think it depends on what you got going on currently.
yeah, but best believe, and if it was a bad breakup, if it
Yeah,
was
bad
a
breakup, no.
if it was a bad breakup, I'm guaranteeing you ain't gonna want to come around there
Bad
anywhere
breakup,
near that person again.
fuck you and your family.
You know what I mean? So, you know, you want to avoid any conflict, any problems going further because, you know what I mean, you don't want to deal with that person anymore, man. That's just really it, man. But, you know, so you got anything else on this?
Nah.
Because I did have something here. Matthew Stafford is now the NFL's MVP. Just
Congrats.
happened tonight. Yeah, it just happened tonight. And he
uh,
just said he is going to return in 2026.
congrats to Matt Stafford. I mean, I guess there ain't no way in hell that Drake May was getting that shit.
No.
That if Matthew Stafford ain't win one yet, they wasn't gonna get that shit to no damn second year Drake May. So he got some time to get that, but that was his that was
This
his
ain't
that
this
was his
ain't this
time.
ain't water. This ain't water.
Offensive player of the year is Seahawks wide receiver Jackson Smith.
Jackson and Jimba.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then you got the defensive rookie of the year is Cleveland linebacker Carson Swishwinger, Swish Singer.
Swish is sweet.
That too. You know what I mean? And let's see, is there anybody else? Art Rooney Award goes to Buddha Baker.
Buda Baker. Who
Let's
won that
see.
coach?
Vrabel.
Thank you. We got something. Like-
Mike Vrabel won it.
Like,
Yeah.
Over
Yeah. over who?
No, I'm not, yeah. I mean, he deserved. I mean, he could have got
Yeah.
it. But
Peyton could have got it too. But anyway, comeback player of the year is Christian
he
McCaffrey.
got like 2 of those already. He wasn't going to get another one.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey got comeback player of the year. I don't understand that.
We can't be
I don't
rewarding people because they got hurt the year before.
Hey, what the fuck?
Make a comeback when you know what comeback player is. You was balling, then you had a fucked up year, and then you turned it around. You back kicking ass again. That's the comeback.
The Bears got a protector of the year. A little bit, Joe Thuney.
Thuney.
Yeah, must
That's-
be nice.
Never heard of that word.
That's a hell of a title. That means
Yeah,
nobody got what's that? Nobody got
something
sacked
for the
on his
line.
side.
No.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody sacked that nigga on his side.
Okay, that's a hell of a title.
Yeah, he came from we got him from Kansas City.
Yeah, offensive rookie of the year is McMillan from the Panthers.
On
The
Tedero McMillan.
They didn't say who he is. Let me see. Myles Garrett, defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels, assistant coach of the year. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there. So, you know what I mean? We pretty much did it, fellas.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We made it through another one. We're
Okay.
going to have these Super Bowl predictions and all that stuff. So we'll see who comes up, who is the winner and who's the loser on Sunday. You know what I mean? We get it going. If you like this type of content, like once again, hit that like button, subscribe, share. We will appreciate it. I mean, hopefully these Patriots don't win this Sunday, but you know what I mean? It is what it is.
You know what I'm saying? And then Patriots win. You know what I'm saying? Sue gonna shave off his whole beard. You know what I'm saying? That's the bet that we got for y'all. You know what I'm
I ain't
saying?
got no dog in this race, man. What the
Exactly.
fuck I gotta do anything? The fuck? Yeah, I get 2 shits to win this fucking game, man. Fuck the both of yous.
Man, you know what? My team lose, I might go with the Hulk Hogan with just this right here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
What they call that? The bicycle, the handlebars?
Yeah.
Hell no. No bet.
Oh,
No bet.
man. Well, oh man, I tell you, come in here next week with some freaking handlebars.
I got the little patches anyway. I gotta let it grow in. It might work for me.
Oh boy, here you go with the patches again. You know what?
Patches Houlihan, man.
We will see you when we see you. On to the next one.